stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, the story ends.
Oh man, what a pain
You
in
wake up
the
in your bed and
ass.
believe whatever you want to. You
Oh,
take the
I
red
hate
pill,
this.
you stay in Wonderland,
This is like the
and I
only
show
time
you how deep
OBS
the rabbit hole
works.
goes. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland,
Let's see.
and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, the story
should
ends.
be good.
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill,
Ah,
story
bad.
ends.
Nice.
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland,
Hey.
and I show
Yeah,
you
what
how
a
deep
pain
the
in the
rabbit hole
ass.
goes.
Because, you know,
You take the
on
blue
the
pill,
phone, I could just take,
story
boom,
ends.
stream now. You
You
know
wake
what I
up in
mean?
your bed and believe
Right.
whatever you want to.
Want to have
You take
anything
the red pill,
nice.
you stay in Wonderland, and I
By the
show
way,
you
yes,
how
I
deep
know
the
I'm
rabbit hole
talking
goes.
over the music. Don't worry.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and
I am
believe
back.
whatever you
What
want.
a pain in the
You
ass.
take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland,
Let's get this thing
and I show
started,
you how
huh?
deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland.
All right. Hello. All right. Yeah. So sorry that took so long. It's just a pain in the ass. I can't believe it went down. I mean, it's happened before, but it doesn't happen that much. Yeah, what a pain in the ass to get like started back up again. And usually, like if the computer gets to the point where, because I probably have too many things running on my modem, either that or I mean, honestly, I think my computer. Well, I know for a fact in the past and now that I am being attacked on my computer. I know that I'm a targeted individual as far as like I'm not like gang stalking. I've never experienced that, but at night, like I get these like frequencies and they'll shoot through my body. So I had someone come with like this meter, and of course in my bedroom, right where my head is, there's like a crazy amount of I don't know, like whatever it is, like the, whatever I don't know what it is, but it went through the roof, which isn't good. Can't be good for like my brain. Um, but yeah, he was like, "Wow, that's weird." He's like, "Is there like an electrical like box outside?" I'm like, "No, that's my outside deck to my porch." So we went out to the porch, and he had to see for himself, like, is there an electrical box? Oh, yeah, and there was nothing. And he was like, well, sometimes it could be in the walls, but it wouldn't be in the walls right here. He's like, that makes no sense. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, I get like these electrical bursts through my body. Like, that's why like I'm up at this hour. Like, I don't sleep much. I really don't. And then it eventually catches up to me, and like I sleep for like a good like I'll sleep. I'll go to sleep at sometimes like 6 p.m. until like 10 p.m. But with a baby, you can't do that. But like here and there, like on a Saturday. Today, my mother didn't take the baby, but tomorrow she is. So I might just like sleep during the day, all day. But then I'll be up all night, and it'll mess up my biological clock. But anyways, I'm back. I hope you guys are back. I hope you guys didn't give up on me. Let me see. And I hope that the people who called like an hour ago now still ready to go. I almost feel weird calling them. But Georgia's first, and then Iowa. Let's see. So I don't. We weren't even talking about anything that bad, but I don't know. This might just be like a freak thing, but I'm telling you guys that I really do get like messed with at night. Like, just like when you guys tell people stuff and it's like real information and they think you're crazy. I'm telling you, I really do like get messed with it at night. Um, like I get these like bolts of electricity go from like my toes to my head or my head to my toes and go either way. It's crazy. And then like I'll wake up to it like and everyone gets that feeling, but I'm talking about like my body's electric. You know what I mean? And then I walk and I'm touching stuff and I'm shocking everything and like when I go grocery shopping, sometimes I'm like shocking stuff. It's crazy. I'm always like getting that shock, but not too much. But I'm telling you, like after a certain hour, it starts happening. Especially if I am horizontal, like toes up or whatever. Just laying down. That's when I get it. Um, and just I know it sounds crazy, but honestly, if you were exposed to what I was exposed to at such a young age and realize the world is kind of like a show and you know um, just because you have a top secret clearance doesn't mean even I got a polygraph, all that. It doesn't mean that you know everything. The whole secret to it is top secret, sensitive, compartmentalized information clearance. So it's the compartmentalized part where, like, if you have, like, some people claim to have these sources who just know it all. Well, unless they are, like, literally the top brass, like, they don't know it all. You just know what you need to know, as they call it. And so I knew what I needed to know, and what I needed to know was without, because I like I said, one thing I never do, I never give out classified intel. None of it's classified. If you look up the job description of what I did, you'll see what I've told you so far. Um, but how do I say it? Okay, so like, let's say, we have abilities to listen in on people. Okay, well, if I'm listening in and all of a sudden I hear like a bombshell, something big, and there's a reason, obviously, to listen to this person. And let's say I happen to just be listening when he says something really, really big. Well, that's why you need the clearance. Um, but I'll tell you, after the Patriot Act passed, the Patriot Act should be called the Anti-Patriot Act. It's basically like goes against everything American, um, strips us of so many rights. I mean, they had it written up like in a month, right? And it's one of the most extensive bills ever written. Like, to write a bill like that, usually it takes like a year or even longer. But after 9/11, in 1 month, they had this bill like ready to go with like all these well thought out ideas that there's no way in 1 month that they put together this extensive bill. And I think everyone here agrees with that and knows that. I don't know exactly what, because I heard so many theories, and so many of them sounded plausible at the time. But looking back on them all I know is that something fishy was going on. You know, one thing that I'm pretty sure about is insurance came into play. But, I mean, I don't want to stop buffering again. Um, did you guys like the thumbnail? I mean, that took an extra like 30 seconds to get that thumbnail, but I thought it was funny. You know, like, every day I'm buffering. I think it's funny. See, the thing is, if you guys are laughing, I can't hear you, so it's kind of like hearing crickets. But anyways, you guys aren't here to hear me babble, right? Well, some of you might be, but I don't know why. Just kidding. All right, so like I said, don't forget, like this video. Let's get it up there. Let's get people seeing it. Share it. Do whatever you got to do, because we're going to take some calls. All right? My Fugel's not on tonight, so for that reason, we should have, more people. But, of course, the stream went down, so hopefully it builds back up. So for now, let's see. Oh yeah, so also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because I'm telling you, in the next 2 days, all right, I'm gonna get some sleep as well. In the next 2 days, maybe 2.5 days, I'm going to have some very interesting videos. Let's see what we got here. All right, so by the way, here's how you can contact me at Yahoo. It's the redpillnews@yahoo.com. If it's more like sensitive nature, I suggest the redpillnews at protonmail.com or protons.mail.com. I forget which way it goes. And then news dispenser. So that's me on YouTube. That's my Twitter handle. And then my the @ is @pill_news. Because trust me, I can tell you everything you need to know about pills. Kidding. Not really. But okay. So per request, if you really have the urge to donate, please only do if you can. And I'm serious about that. If you guys ever want to donate to me, I would really appreciate it. But you guys know I'm not about the money. I'm at the point where I'm well past the requirements for what's it called? Super chat. But I don't know. Like, I've kind of cheated with super chat. Sometimes I think, maybe I should do it. Then I think about it. I'm like, no. Because, like, I don't know. When I see super chats, and nothing, if someone does do super chat, that's nothing against them. Because who knows? Maybe one day, like, if I have, like, a really good video I put a lot of work into, then I'll do a super chat. But I'm not going to do a super chat every video. I've never done one. But, one day if I have a very interesting video with very good intel, I might do a super chat. But, it's just sometimes I see, like 100. It makes you feel broke, You see someone donated, like 100, another person donates 80. It's like, how do people have this money? I don't know. I don't have money like that. So if you do decide to donate, it will be very well appreciated. And the best way to do it is either at paypal.me/theredpillnews. So you can find me that way. And then I don't know why it's not here, but you know what? There should be also on Venmo. How about this? So if you guys really want to, the best way for you guys to donate if you wanted to, is through Venmo. If you guys know that app, Venmo, because they will only take they only take like 1% or something, like 2%. Like it's like nothing. So you would need the app Venmo. V Victor, E Echo, N November, M Mike, O Oscar. Venmo. And basically you just go on there, and if you guys are interested in doing that, just email me at the redpillnews@yahoo, and I'll give you all my information. My updated outro thing has the Venmo in it, but because I had to restart and all that, it's not in here. Although, what's this? All right, guys. So, and so Georgia called me twice. Georgia, are you watching? I don't want to call you. Maybe I should text them. Georgia and then Iowa. If either one of you want to call, go ahead. I would just feel bad if Georgia is up and Iowa called and he gets skipped. 206. You know what? Fuck it. I can't even see what's going on. Let me see. Oh, he might be sleeping. Shit. Damn it. Oh, yeah, it was somebody trying to call. I'll leave him a message. Why not, right? Hey, Rick, I just wanted to apologize. The stream went down. I'm back up. I know it's late. You're probably sleeping. I'm sorry for calling at this hour, but I know you called twice, so I just wanted to call and just let you know that, you know, I'm back up and I was just trying to get you on. All right, buddy. Sorry for calling so late. All right, red pill up. Yeah, I feel bad calling late like that, but he did call twice, so I just wanted to let him know that, you know. That's another thing. Like every comment, I respond to every comment, you know. What the fuck, man. All right, all right. So Iowa. Yeah, someone just said that you're starting a new stream. Yeah. I'm trying to tell them, yeah, on now. Oh, they asked me that 15 minutes. Okay, so yeah, maybe that person's here. I gotta start saving the numbers for like, you know, people who are regulars. All right, here we go. Iowa. All right. Hello, this is the Red Pill News Dispensary. How you doing?
Hello, is your refrigerator running?
Yes, it's right now it's about to head out the door and it is gone. How you doing?
What's up, man?
Nothing much. Just trying to, you know, every day I'm buffering, you know.
Every day I'm buffering.
I wasn't sure if it was funny, but it's pretty funny. All right. So what do we got, brother? What's your name? Well, you don't have to tell your name, but you know, what's your style? What you want to talk about?
This is Brock. This is Brock from the Badger Report.
Oh, it's Brock from the Badger Report.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, luckily I think there was. I can't see the chat right now, but I know that before. You know, you got a good. You know. Oh yeah, there's actually still a good amount of people here. Yeah, but there was more before. But I gave you, you know, the endorsement that you deserve. I think. I just, you know, when I come across a great YouTuber that's like on his way up, if I can help, I mean, I'm a small YouTuber, you know, but you know, the key is getting over a certain hump, and you know, I mean, I think you're going places.
Thanks, man.
So, did you have a topic that you wanted to talk about tonight?
Is there one that we were talking about, or?
Um, no, not tonight because well, there was, but then I got some new intel, and I'm going to do a video just on one thing, and then three things, like three videos, maybe four.
Okay.
Um, but no, there's no topic. It's a free for all. Whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. Let's ask the chat. All right,
You're
chat.
coming in a
Chatting.
little bit. You're coming in a little bit. Let me see. You're coming in like a little bit like staticky. Speaker.
Yeah. Let me take it
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Take off speaker. That's usually.
How can you hear me now?
Now you're good. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I working at a radio station. Trust me, that's like the biggest thing. Like because we have people at the radio station. You know, we don't just we talk and we sit and we talk about sports, but we also we have calling. That's actually how I got in. I was a caller and they liked me and whatever. So one of the big things is like people sound like shit on the air if they're on speaker. So you can kind of tell. So I always ask people like, "Hey, you on speaker?" And if they are, they take it off, and all of a sudden they sound good. So, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
You got a question for
Yeah.
chat?
I don't think we're actually on. I think we're actually buffering right now. I don't
No
think.
way.
Yeah.
No way. Because I even used a different mode.
Okay. Here we are.
Yeah, I did. I even used a different mode to do this. Like normally, I use a one way to go live. I used a totally different method to go live. It says that my stream health is good.
Yeah, Kizzy just made a comment and said that the audio is fine, but the stream is.
So, but the audio is good. All right,
Yeah.
good. As long as the audio is good, then you know what? I can maybe work on that other stuff. Let me see.
Brian Knight said, stock. I think that means you want me to talk about gang stalking, perhaps, maybe? Because I kind of asked, what do you guys want to
yeah,
talk about?
that, and you know what? I think, yeah, it might be that, or it might be that I'm being, because I get, see how I'm targeted. Remember our interview, and I was telling you how I was a target individual, especially at night, and I'm not sleeping, and it's like this doesn't happen to me that much. Like usually, like when I'm up, but as long as they can hear you, go ahead, shoot away. I'll work on it while you do your thing, while you talk. It's all that matters is the audio. I could put up a picture of you know, I don't know anything. You know what I mean? I was gonna say something gross, but
Yeah, Kizzy just asked a really great question.
okay.
She said, Badger Report, please tell us about whether or not things like following color patterns in cars is actually important to TIs. No, it's not.
No, I would say that's more like to be honest. Now, what do you mean? If you're talking now, there's certain type. I now is she if she what if she's asking now? Here, let me.
Well, I know what she's asking. I
What
can
if?
explain.
Yeah, okay. Like, what if it's like what if there's certain cars that like gang stalk? Like, for instance, growing up, I used to be able to because when we were young, we were stupid. We sold drugs and we were stupid, right? Like 16, 15, 14, and we'd be able to spot, a city detective, a city detective, all of it. We'd be able to spot them, and we could tell by the color. We could tell by the type of car. We could tell by the antennas. All that type of stuff. So you would think that if there's gang stalking, they're not going to do it in a hoopty, you know what I mean? It's going to be probably like a Ford, little tint, like stuff like that. Maybe an unmarked white van.
No.
No, that's not the
What?
case? Okay. I never experienced gang stalking, so no.
Yeah, I can explain.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, what she's talking about there is a lot of TIs on the internet will make videos and they'll claim that red cars are following them, which does happen. It does happen. Like, one thing that happens with me is
Red, in particular, red.
it seems to be red. It seems to be like TIs. They'll have red cars that'll follow them. Like, and I mean, it does happen. I mean, they do this. These perps, they
See, the thing is, I don't rule out anything. But if I'm being honest, like, stuff like that, I kind of think, like, there's a line where I know for a fact, not for a fact, but I basically know for a fact in my heart, like, that gang stalking is legit, right? It really happens to people, and it's very sad because they're not believed. I mean, we complain. Some of us complain because you know,
think
we
about this. Like, Richie from Boston didn't even want to say he was a targeted individual, and why is that? Because he didn't want to be associated.
he didn't want. Well, he didn't want to.
Even somebody like Richie, who is
Well, I know Richie
stuff,
well.
like,
The reason he didn't want to bring it up is because he didn't want to give them the satisfaction that they were getting to him. And what they were doing is they were messing with him at night, and that's when they really get to him. And that's what I get. That's what happens to me as well. Is the nighttime, like, electric current through your body. And he described exactly what I went through. And I ended up talking to him about it, and he goes, "Honestly, I didn't want to give them the satisfaction of knowing that it's getting to me." So that's the reason.
That's right.
So that's what it is with him.
Yeah, but even in the truth community, though, like, the TIs are often scoffed at. Now, not all truthers. There's a good, maybe even a majority that either already know about it or they would believe it if they're presented with the information.
Yeah. And I would say especially the gang stalking community gets, kind of like you said, scoffed at,
Yeah.
Like,
With that color coding thing, like what she was asking about. No, it's not important. It does happen, like with me, I get one headlight vehicles. I get people with one headlights that'll follow me when I go places.
Okay.
And the point of that is to basically drive a person crazy.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of gang
psychological
stalking.
warfare, spiritual warfare, and it also has other applications. Even just making someone on edge rather than being loose and relaxed and wanting to go out and socialize with people. Like, it's not always about driving someone crazy because, like, the point of it is to get people like me who speak truth out of the public squares where I'm going to speak truth and people are going to hear it. That's the point of it. And they don't always have to drive you crazy to get you to isolate yourself from speaking out with people. But that, the point of that, like, with some people it's red cars. They every time they leave the house, it's like red cars freaking everywhere. With me, it's one headlights. And the point of that
So
is
maybe is it possible that everybody has, like, a different experience? Like, maybe, like, for some people it really is just like the red cars that follow them.
Yeah, like I said, it really does happen like that. I mean,
it depends on the person. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And it just doesn't matter. It really, the whole point of it is to get you to put your focus on them rather than what you would have otherwise been putting your focus and energy into.
Absolutely.
It's all about it's like, here I am. I have a one headlight. Here I am. Look at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't pay no, never mind. That's the whole point of it. It gets you to focus on them,
And you know what I think they also use against these poor people going through this? And if you are being gang stalked, just remember, like Badger just said, what it's all about is getting you to lose it all. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to get to you. They're trying to get to you. It's psychological warfare. And psychological warfare is a real thing. I mean, the U.S. military uses it. I know that for a fact. I mean, why do you think we were able to roll into Iraq the way we did in 2003? All right, they all drop their guns and their uniforms, and that's it. I mean, what? They don't have one warrior there? No, we use some kind of cycle. I'm not gonna get into it, but things were used, to avoid the bloodshed. So,
Well, that's absolutely right. Have you
but
ever heard
that's
of Dr.
different. That
Robert Duncan?
yeah. I just
He
didn't.
said that.
It's classified, so.
No. Dr. Robert Duncan said that.
Yeah,
Dr. Robert Duncan, who's former
yeah,
CIA, said that in the Iraq War, we used V2K,
yeah.
which is now Robert Duncan. He's former CIA. He's an advocate for TIs. I got a
Oh,
friend
is
that
he?
actually knows.
Is
Yeah,
he?
I got a friend
Oh,
that actually knows him. Dr.
yeah. No,
Robert
I,
Duncan was
I,
on
I've heard of him.
Jesse Ventura's TV show, and on Jesse Ventura's TV show, Conspiracy Theory, and they covered the topic of targeted individuals. But
Yeah.
anyways, Dr. Robert Duncan said that in the Iraq War, they used V2K, which is a
And to
weapon
be
they use
clear, we're
against.
talking 2003 when we actually invaded.
Yeah,
Yeah. They just dropped they dropped their weapons. They took off their uniforms. Now, why would they do that? I'll let you
because
say
what I'm
it.
about to tell you.
No, I'm setting you up. So now
Oh, gotcha.
I'll let you say it.
They used V2K, which is a weapon
Whoa.
that many targeted individuals are tortured with. It stands for voice to skull.
Voice to
And it's
skull.
where they can
Exactly.
use something called microwave auditory hearing
Yeah.
to send voices to your head. And they told the Iraqi soldiers in 2003, this is Allah, put down your weapons. And many of them did. And you just heard firsthand that they did. They put their weapons down.
And that's real, guys. That's not BS. I was already about to say it, and then I'm like, it's classified. I'm not gonna, just because of my background, I can get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like I would go to military, but the knowledge is out there, but it's true. It's true. Like that's what voices they use voice to skull, and they pretended to be their god, and it wasn't their god. It wasn't Allah.
Nope.
I mean, isn't that amazing? I mean,
Yes.
it was a what? It was, I think by then he had almost 1 million-man army.
Yeah.
And
one of the most powerful militaries in the world.
Yep.
At the time.
Well, armies, yeah. I mean,
Armies,
the
yeah,
Navy sucked and the
manpower.
Air Force sucked, but the Air Force is okay, but at the time, but yeah, isn't that I just found that blew my mind when I found that out. That was a couple of years ago. I found that out, and I just couldn't believe that was one of my biggest. I mean, I was red pill way before but that was one of my biggest. I didn't know that when I was in the military. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I mean, that was obviously highly, highly sensitive material because when I was in is when that happened. I joined officially in 2003. So that's when they used it. So it's just kind of crazy, that they would actually do that and it actually worked. Why is one of my mods? Why is Kellyanne's message retracted? Why would a mod's message be retracted? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Probably a typo.
Oh, okay. All right.
She probably typed something and then Google did a typo, where they'll change your wording from what you actually type in. So Kizzy said, Badger Report, when receiving voice of God or similar type messages, do you ever notice interference? Say a radio fizzes out first or cordless phone behaves strangely. I've only had V2K one time.
And it happened to you before?
Yes. Not all targeted individuals get voice to skull, but it happened to me one time.
I've never had it, but go ahead. I want to hear your story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was laying on the floor sleeping because I had just moved into a new place, didn't have a bed yet.
Yeah.
And literally just moved in.
Okay.
And I'm sleeping. It's the middle of the night. And what Kizzy just said, is there interference? Yes. So I'm in a dead sleep, and you know what feedback is when that high-pitched when you're talking into a microphone and it's not in tune or whatever?
Yes.
It did that. So I hear this, super loud, like in my head though, and it woke me up, and I popped up and I jumped up, and no wait, it was before I popped up and jumped up. So the feedback woke me up, and then it just said in this voice, like some California surfer dude that's like a stoner, said, "Hey man," to me in my head, and then I heard the and then it tuned out and it was gone as soon as it came in, and then I was standing there and it was like complete dark. I'm looking around and it was completely silent, and I'm like, did that just happen? Like,
wow. Now, what do you think was the purpose of all things, like a surfer? Were you in California? I mean, was there any
yeah, like
significance
to
in your
sound like
life?
some like he's like, hey man,
Wow.
like why would you give me V2K just to go,
Well,
hey
that was
man?
basically my question. Like, did that have any significance to you, or was it
No,
totally random?
totally random, dude.
Wow, that's weird. And I bet you the
It is
fact
weird.
that it's random would actually mess with you psychologically more than if it made sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It like leaves you like questioning, like, all right, is this really happening to me, or am I like losing it? You know what I mean? And I think
actually, I
that's their
know.
goal.
My buddy, I was driving in the
I
car with my
know that's
buddy a
their
couple
goal.
weeks ago. Who has my buddy that has V2K?
Yeah.
He looks over at me and he said, "Hey, a car is gonna pass us in about 10 seconds, and it's gonna have a 333 on the license plate." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, my V2K just told me." I'm like, "All right." And 10 seconds later, the car passes. I look, 333. He says all the time his V2K tells him what license plates are gonna pass.
And then he kept getting it right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not delusions in his head.
He was able to prove it.
Yeah.
See, that's like at least like he's able to take it and prove it. Now, I bet you a lot of people who are listening to this are thinking, okay, so this is probably like this they probably believe that this happens to you because I had an interview with you. You're professional, and it's just, but there is probably a certain faction maybe that are schizophrenic. Would you
Yeah.
sign off on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's and I think that that's part of the illusion. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's the whole thing about the program with these psychotronic weapons. A lot of people can be driven to that mental state where they wouldn't have if it wasn't for. Because, I mean, like, the reason they do this, some people might say, like, why the hell, excuse my language, would they spend all
no,
this
it's
time and
okay.
energy following people around with one headlights and red cars and going around with directed energy weapons and microwaving people and it's because it's very, very effective. Very effective. You might look at someone like me, and I'm doing very well with my life, and I'm well spoken,
Yeah.
and think, oh well, this program, it's just that. It's people riding around with one headlights, and well, it's very effective on many people. Many people
I
get
would
driven
I would
off the
imagine
edge.
so. I mean, the electronic stuff at night is very effective on me. I could not imagine if I had to go through game stalking. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just that's tough because that's like it's just unbelievable because it's like first of all why, second of all like how do you the logistical feat of being able to, like the manpower and the logistics of actually game stalking somebody seems so like just too much. It's just too much money, too much manpower. But I believe it. I believe that they really do that. They select certain people. Now, do you think people are selected at random, or do you think that it's more like there's like there's something about There's something
Well, it's
about
kind of, the MK Ultra program had 600 programs or something, and the gang stalking, it is satanic ritual abuse, just like MK Ultra.
you know what that's what I
It's
believe.
just MK Ultra modern day is all it is.
And I think that certain people, they can look at somebody, and this is what Jonathan Kleck says, and they can separate, the sheep from the actual God's people, and
Yeah.
that's why they do it.
Now that is what they do a lot of times.
You
Now, like
know, I
MK
mean,
Ultra,
what do
there's
we all have
600.
in common? Richie from Boston, he's a Christian. I mean, he's had a tough past, and so have I. But myself, Richie from Boston, we're Christians, and we take it serious. You're a religious. Religious might not be the right word, but you're a Christian. You're a Christian, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really do think that's what it has to do with. And that's why they put this effort into it. Um, you know, at least I just watching Jonathan Kleck. That's kind of the conclusion I come to, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, though, with MK Ultra, there's 600 programs, right? So they had 600 different things going on. Like some TIs, I think, are chosen on random, but there's a lot that aren't. It's not like some cut and dry 2 + 2 = 4 kind of thing. Because, like I said, some people, they do the one headlights. Some people, they do the red cars. Some people experience a purely demonic manifestation, literally bump in the night, ghosts in your house kind of thing.
See, now I never thought of it as voice to skull, but I have experienced the voice to skull. But okay, so there was one night I was watching these videos and stuff, but there's been 2 times that I've had dreams that were so real that they were so vivid that I could never tell you that, to this day I know that something supernatural happened those nights. Now, one of them, it was after my dad died, and my dad was the closest person on earth to me. And we were best friends, everything. He taught me everything I know, from even street stuff to just everything. And I had a dream where I basically felt him embrace me, and he told me, Matt, you have to be strong for your mother and your brothers. You're the man of the family now, and I love you, and embrace me. And he wasn't the type to be like, I love you and all that, He just showed it, but in this situation, he said it. He actually said it right when the ambulance doors were shutting. I was like, I love you, Dad. And he never said, I love you back. And he just said, get the fuck back to work. But that's the type of guy he was. He wasn't being mean. That's just the type of guy he was. So I felt him embrace me. It was the most vivid thing ever. And then I woke up and I was like, that was not a dream. And to this day, that was not a dream. And that was in 2009. Now, fast forward to a year ago, 2018. I was sleeping and I had this eerie feeling as I'm sleeping, right? And again, I had that vivid, lucid dream. Now, I wasn't drinking. I wasn't on it. I wasn't doing drugs, obviously, because I'm 5 years sober. Nothing to me. I wasn't on a. I didn't have a smoking. Some of us have smoking patches can cause vivid dreams. No, this was something different. It was an eerie feeling, and all of a sudden there was this sick laughter, and I saw the Baphomet. The image with the goat and the boobs and all that, and then the two thing the same above and below, the two fingers up and two fingers down. You know, what is it? Same above as below, something, whatever it is. You know, it
Yeah.
was that symbol, and it was just looking at me, and it was like pure evil, and I'll never forget that. And I mean, there's a chance that I brought it on myself because I was on the deep web, dark web, you know.
Really?
So, you know, maybe I like let some entity into my world, into my consciousness, into I don't know. I don't know. The dark web, I was on the dark web, and I don't go on the dark web anymore. There's some like legit satanic shit on there.
I
And
bet.
you know,
That's how all these gang stalkers communicate with each other.
yeah, and so ever since then I just stay away from it. And I actually, so he's looking, and I said Jesus Christ and the blood of I said in the blood of Jesus Christ, and I guess that's very important to say, in the blood of Jesus Christ, because before Jesus, you know, in order to, you know, like do something for God, you would it had to be a blood sacrifice. So they would, you know, kill the lamb, you know, and the blood of the lamb would be able to create some kind of miracle, right? And so it was actually since then, now in the New Testament, it was the blood of Jesus, and ever since then, there's no need to, you know, sacrifice lambs and all. There's some, like, you know, extreme groups that still do that type of stuff. They'll sacrifice the blood of the lamb and all that. But no, you know, nowadays as Christians, since Jesus' blood was shed, that was for our sins, and until he returns, that's it. Like before him, for thousands of years, that was what was written. That was their Bible, and you know, somebody could probably explain this better than me, but that's my best way of explaining it. Is before it used to be blood sacrifices, and you know, the lamb was usually the, you know, the most popular way that they would do it. But ever since Jesus, at least that's my understanding of it. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, that's right.
So you know what I mean. So that's why I said the blood of Jesus Christ, and it went away, and it never came back. But yeah, so I kind of, if it wasn't so vivid, I would have thought, all right, that was just a dream because I was on the dark web looking, and there was some crazy satanic shit on there. But no, this was like I could feel the presence, and it was airy, and the laugh was just like it chilled me, you know, like it was real. It was real, and the whole thing was I was awake. I was sleeping, but I was awake. Like once it was all done, I was awake. So like I don't know if how long I was sleeping and how long I was awake. It was a very weird experience, and I tried to explain it to my mother, and she thought I was crazy. Um, you know, it's hard to explain this type of stuff to people, and I think with like gang stalking, it must be very difficult for somebody for them to explain it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I've faced a lot of ridicule, you know, and I really appreciate you guys, you know, hearing me out and believing me and supporting me and everything. And
Yeah, and
you know,
on this channel, listen, like you know, there's other channels who say that as well. You know, we support you, and you know, anybody, whatever your views are, like you're not gonna be labeled as crazy here. And on this channel, I really mean that. Okay, so you know, but people are allowed to voice their opinion. If someone's saying that they think something opposite, that's fine. That doesn't mean that they have to be, you know, you have to hide their comment or whatever. Everybody has a view, and everyone's view is allowed at the Red Pill Dispensary. And I appreciate you calling in. And is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Maybe mention your YouTube channel.
yeah. think I covered everything. You know, I'm. You guys can find me there in the chat. You know, it's the Badger Report. And
Yeah, this is the Badger Report. If you guys remember from the first video, I was talking about the interview that I had done, and you know, I give this man a resounding. Oh, I can't even think. It's like so late. A resounding.
applause.
No, not applause, but like support. Like you know, like I can't even think right now. But basically, this channel, I stand by it. I think this channel is gonna go a long way. You've been doing this for a little bit, but it takes a long time to get. I mean, you had a good amount of subscribers. I mean, you were in what, like the 800s?
Oh, I'm about 1,000 actually. Almost
Yeah,
like 20 away.
yeah. The first time I mentioned you, remember? I told you right away. I mentioned you and then I went and checked, and it went to like 9 something. And I told you were gonna go above 1,000 tonight. You know? Yeah. But I mean,
I really
so
appreciate
congratulations.
it. Yeah, man. Really appreciate it.
Of course, and you know what? The thing is, it's like I didn't do it. You did it. You know what I mean? I just happened to come across you, and and that's what you do. You meet different YouTubers, and that's how you grow. I should be doing more of that myself, but at this point, I'm happy where I'm at. If I wouldn't mind getting more subscribers, but right now I have a really good core group of people, and I like where I'm at right now. But again, thank you for calling in, and now you're gonna be able to do it's gonna be it's so much better. Like if you're out somewhere, I've done it a few times, and they've been some of my favorite videos. If you have your mobile with you, you just hit a button and you're live. You used to be able to do that no matter what.
In no time.
Yeah, right. So like, congratulations, because that's like the best part of it. That's what I didn't want to fall below 1,000 after something happened one time, but I didn't. I thought I would, but I didn't. So
what happens if that happens? Do they take it away?
I'm not sure. I maybe. Yeah.
I want to be able to do those community posts where, if I see a good article
you
or something,
can.
I can share it,
Yeah.
write a little commentary.
Or even like nights like tonight. You know what I mean? Like I should have actually taken advantage of that. But then again, I had good moderators that, they text me and call me, and I let them know, okay, just in a couple minutes I'm gonna be up again. You know what I mean? But yeah, the community posts, I use them all the time. I'll write, tonight I will be live at 11:15 Eastern time. And that way, because right now, at least yesterday, people weren't getting my notifications. Did you get a notification for this one?
Nope.
See, people aren't getting notifications, so I'm definitely being messed with, and that's not cool. Like I almost want to call YouTube and be like, what the fuck? Like I'm not getting notifications. I know that I swear. I know that I talk about conspiracies. I know all that, but guess what? Like I got one strike. That's it, and it was bullshit. It was total bullshit. It wasn't even. It was like somebody called in and told me to play a clip, and I hit play, and I was like, oh no, wait, I don't have permission, and I hit pause. It was on for like 2 seconds, and I thought the rule was you could play it for like 7 seconds, hit pause, and then you gotta wait, and then hit play again. You know what I mean? I thought like that's what they allowed. But apparently, I don't know, just for those like 3 seconds that it was on, I got a strike. But it looks like the person whose video I played for those 3 seconds made a complaint. Supposedly, that's what it said.
Actually, I had the same thing. Are you sure? Okay, now there's a difference. I learned this. There's a difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike. Was it a claim or a strike?
A claim.
Ah, you're good, dude. You're all good.
Yeah.
I did that. I had that on 2 different streams, and I took the streams down for a while, then did some research. I went into like the YouTube help center, common questions.
Well, I'll be able to tell you right
With the
now, I
copyright
have my
claim,
status and features. I just want to make sure that I'm telling you the right information. So, as far as strikes, you have 0 copyright strikes, 0 community guideline strikes.
Yeah, you got
But
a
I
claim,
did get an
which is different.
email, and somebody made a complaint.
Okay.
Yeah, and it had to do with that video.
Gotcha.
So maybe they looked into it.
claim.
Well, they said that they were going to investigate it.
Okay.
Yeah, but so far, yeah, I'm all in the green and it's all good.
Yeah, according to YouTube, with a claim, you're fine. It's just the other person has a right to monetize it. Basically, you put up a video, gets millions of views, all that ad revenue, even if you just play like 5 seconds of a song, they can copyright claim it and then take all your revenue from that whole video.
Oh, so some people, they just use it as a way to make money. Yeah, they probably have some algorithm that tells them anytime that their content is played. Yeah,
there's a few firms that contract with copyright labels.
Well, who knows? Maybe that caller was part of it. Maybe they have some caller go around to call-in shows and say, hey, play this video. He's cool. He doesn't care. Maybe they can't actually say that because then that might nullify it. But say play this video. And then someone like me hits play, and then all of a sudden realizes, wait a second, no. And they hit pause, and then they basically try to take your revenue. But maybe not, because I'm not monetized, so.
Yeah, you'd know if they started putting ads on the video, because they can do that. They can
put ads on my video without me, even though I don't want to be monetized?
From what I know, yeah.
Really?
That's the whole point of it.
They haven't yet. I've been at 1,000 for a couple months, but yeah. So one day they might just throw an ad on one of my videos.
Well, not one of them. That particular video with the copyright claim.
Oh, okay. Because I choose not to do the monetize and super chat, but like, let's say I put out like some groundbreaking intel, that's when I'll use it. You know what I mean? Doesn't that make more sense? I mean, obviously, that's not knocking. A lot of people
don't understand how YouTube monetization works. It's CPM. You get paid in CPM. It's the same thing. We learned this in Principles of Advertising in college. And it stands for cost per milli, and milli Latin for thousand. So cost per thousand.
Okay.
So you get CPM for every 1,000 views. You get like anywhere from $1 up to $10 per 1,000 views. Now, truther channels, they don't pull in the big CPM.
So
most CPM, right? $4 CPM.
Yeah.
So if you can get 10,000 views a day, which is a lot, right? It's still only $40 a day. You can't even live on 10,000 views a day.
Yeah.
You put out a video, goes viral, gets 100,000 views. That's still only $4,000.
Yeah. So why even do it? It's just a pain in the ass to have the 15-second delays, and your audience has to sit there through stupid delays. I don't know. I don't like it. The only thing that makes sense to me is the super chat. The super chat makes sense because you can actually get real money on that, but they take a lot of it. That's the only thing that sucks. I mean, if in a perfect world, everyone would have Venmo, and I would just say, "Hey, here's my Venmo." You know what I mean? Like, if you like it, and I do that, but I don't know. I have a feeling when I check it later, there won't be anything in it, and that's fine. You know, I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to spread truth. You know, I went into the military proud. I left proud, and I still uphold my oath to protect against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, the enemies that are affecting my life, the life of my friends, the life of my family, the life of all my friends who have died from drugs and just like this onslaught of people coming across the border and just honestly bringing drugs with them, bringing their whole families, and basically just kind of making it so that it's tough to get a job in the inner city. I mean, I lived in Worcester, and this city, Worcester, Massachusetts. I lived in one of the worst buildings. I didn't know it was bad when I moved in. It was the daylight. It was next to a college, but it's actually a bad neighborhood called Maine South. And I kind of picked up a few things that made me tell it was like a little hoodish, but it didn't seem too bad. So besides, we didn't have a kid at the time, and I'm telling you, in that building, we were there was only one other apartment where they weren't illegal, illegals, and they were. That's only because they were Puerto Rican, and they weren't born here. They only lived here for like 5 years, but they came from Puerto Rico, and that's an American territory. So they're still considered American. You know what I mean? But they barely spoke English. Nobody spoke English in the whole building. You know, broken English, but no one spoke English, and they were all legal. It's like, how can that happen? Like they made no sense to me. And they would, and then I go down to the store, and there'll always be these long lines, and everybody's sending money back to El Salvador. It's like, I'm telling you, I lived in some of the worst areas, and that's why I hate it when some gated community, white person tells me that, I'm a bigot. I'm not a bigot. I'm a realist, and I lived it. I'd like to take them and throw them in that building and have them listen to the gunshots, have them pick up try to revive the people that are OD'd in the hallway. One morning I walked out to a dead 17-year-old girl on my back stoop, dead. She had been. It was in the winter. She was already like starting to like kind of frozen. Well, she was dead. She was just stiff, but it was like really cold that night. So, yeah.
She didn't freeze to death, did she?
No, she overdosed, and then her body just kind of like it was in the elements for like 6 hours overnight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it was stuff all the time. I witnessed guys get literally shot, a few stabbings.
You saw people got shot?
Multiple times, yeah. I've had a gun put in my mouth once. A second time, a guy tried to put a gun in my mouth. This is all before the age of 17, because I.
Oh yeah, man. I've heard that Boston was rough, but man.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of where I lived. The neighborhood. I mean, Worcester, that's different. Worcester is more like a third world country. But that's where the dead body and all, that's where I lived. There wasn't so much of that. The OxyContin was just starting. It was like, when I was 16. So it was probably like 1999, 2000. And, it was just starting with the drugs. And when people get hooked on drugs, that's when they start committing crimes. Also, there's a lot of money involved. So if someone knows that you're pumping like, 100 OCs, 500 OCs a day at $80 a pop, and they're gonna try to rob you. And
$80 a pop?
Yeah, it's because they're 80 milligrams, and it's $1 a milligram. And sometimes people would pay 100 when there was like droughts. People would pay 100.
They pay $80 for one pill?
Yeah. And that one pill you could split into like, if you're not taking, let's say, you don't do it a lot, right? You could take that pill and split it into, like, I mean, maybe 8 pieces, 4 pieces, 6 pieces, and, get high every day.
Really?
Yeah. It was
The
weird.
one
Yeah.
little pill?
That you hear about how Purdue Pharmacy is getting sued right now?
Mm.
No, they're the ones who came out with this pill, OxyContin, and said that you can't get addicted to it. And that's because there was a coating on it. So if you just took it regular, if you just swallowed it, yeah, you could still get addicted to it, but you wouldn't really get like all high, and it wouldn't be, that sought after. But it didn't take long for kids to realize, hey, if I just wet the pill a little bit, put it on rub it under my shirt, or with a paper towel, in 3 seconds you wipe the coating off, and now it's just all white, and you could chew it. Most people would break it down and sniff it. And 80 mil, that'd be a lot. You'd be blasted. I mean, some people had a habit. They had to do 80s, like they'd have to do like 8 a day. I mean, so think about how much money you would need to keep that habit. It was crazy what was going on. So that's what I'm trying to say. There was a lot of money involved. So there was a lot of like violence, a lot of threats of violence, like robberies. So the first time, the guy put the gun in my mouth, and I told him I'll never let that happen again. So it happened again. They said, open your fucking mouth. And I was like, fuck you. I wasn't opening my mouth. And my buddy had a bunch of money in his trunk, and I kept my mouth shut. And I just, I had experienced it a few times, and I realized, like, this guy is not going to murder me. You know what I mean? So I just was like, fuck you. And my friend basically was the same way. But then the third guy was like, the money and the drugs are in the trunk. So the guy ended up getting it. Yeah, it wasn't mine. It was my other friends. But still, he lost. He really lost out. And it's like we were pissed at the third guy, but I mean, can you really blame him? It was maybe it was his first time having a gun pointed at him. I don't know, but. Yeah, we did all kinds of crazy stuff. One time there was this new drug dealer in town. He was selling like weed and coke, and basically, my buddy called me, and he's still my best friend to this day. He's the only one of my group of friends who's still alive, and so he called me from a party with another friend, and they were like, "Dude, that guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but they're like, that guy. He's here." And I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah. They're like, listen, we told him we don't have a ride home. We're going to leave I almost said his name. We're going to leave whoever's the second friend's car home. So, and he's like, is there any way, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, when he goes to drop him off, can you be ready with somebody else? Because there's like bushes there. So I called someone that I trusted, and we waited in the bushes. We had fake guns. They were fake. We just took the orange off, and they were fake guns. We were like 15. So he pulls up, and then my buddy gets him to get out of the car. He wants to show him something, like right over, like it wasn't actually his house, by the way. Because he didn't want this guy to know where he lives. He was like, dude, you got to see my car. So he was just hoping there'd be a nice car. And the car was like, okay. You know what I mean? It was a Mercedes, but it was like an old one. And the guy's all pretending to like the car. And we popped out of the bushes. Serge pretended to be scared. But then the guy starts running. So my friend runs after him. And the guy that we were robbing was black. And he was really fast, right? But my friend caught up to him. He made him take off his pants, his shirt, everything, stripped him down, his boots, and we ended up, I pretended that I was, robbing Serge. You know what I mean? So Serge had his pants off, and so then I get in the car, and I drive up, and we pick up them two at the end of the street, and he has the gun to him. The guy's all scared in his underwear, and so so then it's the four of us in the car, right? Now I end up getting dropped off. I have the bag with all the money and the drugs. Now at this point, the other one of the other guys, he ends up in the trunk, and actually I told the story wrong. When at the beginning, like he ended up, what happened? Okay. So they dropped him off. I'm trying to think, how did he end up in the trunk? They dropped him off, right? The guy that got robbed, and they're coming to my house. All of a sudden, he calls them. He's like, "I'm here with the police." He's like, they want to talk to you, because they're thinking, he's thinking, and the police are thinking that my friend got robbed as well. So he's still in his underwear, and the other guy, the guy who ran him down, is in the trunk with both pairs of pants, a fake gun. You know what I mean? Like, so he's in the trunk, and Sir, I almost said his name. My buddy gets in the car, he drives down, sees him, and they're both in their underwear talking to the cops. And the cop is talking to him. He's like, "Is there anything in the car I should know about?" And he's walking over. And then he's leaning on the trunk. And then, like, all this stuff. And the whole time, the guy who actually, did this is in the trunk, like in the fetal position, I bet, with his pants, with the pants of the guy we actually robbed, with the pants of our friend we pretended to rob, and a fake gun. It was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I kind of butchered the story a little bit, but it was one of the funniest stories we ever had. And the cop was leaning against the trunk talking to them. And little did I know, he's in the trunk. And I'm at home counting money. So they all eventually made it back to my house, and we split it all up. And yeah, we used to do crazy, stupid shit. But I'm going to be doing a testimony, and I'm not like proud of that stuff, but it's just, I was very young. I was 15 at that time. But, I learned a lot. And I ended up turning out to be a man that really cares about people, The military saved my life. It really did.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it did. Definitely did. I mean, all my friends, the whole group of us, they're all dead.
Wow.
They're all dead, except for one, and he was the guy in the story. But all right. Anyways, I kind of took over. I started talking about that. That was just a funny story. I just wish I told it better. I wasn't prepared to tell it. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, Kizzy asked a pretty good question.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at. Yeah.
She said, I gotta scroll up here. Gotta scroll way up.
See, it's like.
She said, the Badger Report. Tell us the moment you first realized or came to accept that you might be a TI. That was February 2017. I'll never forget it.
Wow, you know the date. Wow.
Well, I don't know the exact date.
Didn't you just say February 27th?
2017.
Oh, I thought you said 27th. Okay.
No.
Well, something as crazy as that. I mean, maybe you would remember the date. That wouldn't be.
I really wish I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had been going through it, and I was frustrated with it one night, and I'm laying in my bed, And I'm thinking, like, you know, they've got a group for just about everybody. You know, they've got a group for any kind of person that's been even slightly marginalized or victimized. There's some kind of support group for them. And I was like, well, there's got to be some kind of support group for, because I knew there was probably one for women that were getting stalked, obviously, but I'm like, there's got to be some kind of like stalking support group, people that get stalked.
Yeah.
Harassed, right?
Yeah, right.
And I look it up and I come across this website. It's called fightgangstalking.com.
Wow.
I'm like, what is this gang stalking? What is this? And I clicked on it.
Now, what happened that day for you two?
I don't know, man. Like,
had it been happening, and or like did something
it had
happen?
been happening for a good 5 years at that point.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just didn't know if like something like really crazy happened that
something
day.
just popped into my mind and said, Google stalking advocacy groups.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good idea.
I put in stalking advocacy groups.
That's a good idea, because no one's gonna believe you. You know, no one even believes us when we tell them stuff that's actually believable. You know, they're not gonna believe the against. You know, well, most people. I hate to generalize, but
yeah, and I'll never forget that feeling. You know, because I went to the website and I'm reading through it, and it was like a perfect description of everything that was happening to me.
Yeah, it's like reading a medical disease that you have, and you're reading all the symptoms.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a dark comparison, but
yeah, and I'll never forget that feeling, sitting there reading through all of it, where every single thing was like exactly what I was going through. You know, and
yeah,
man, like
that's liberating.
It kind of was. It was kind of freaking me out, though, man. Like,
really?
Because then when I went out, they really started ramping it up on me. And I started noticing way more than I had before. I'm like, that's like things. I'm like, this whole time they've been doing that, they've been gang stalking me, and I didn't even notice. So I actually started to notice a lot more than I had before. Which is kind of like a catch-22 for people who learn that they're targeted. They go and they learn all the tactics because of all the people who only focus on the tactics. Then they start to notice 10 times more, and then they're getting screwed with 10 times more because they're noticing it more. But I did find
to the chat, by the way, I'm sorry. I was just I was trying to fix the video, and also I made like a quick highlight of the conversation, just like a quick 1 minute. You know what I mean? So I wasn't looking at chat. I was trying to fix the video resolution, and I wanted to see if the highlight I made would work, because I had never done that before. So that's why I haven't. I always look at chat. It's just basically for this call, I've been talking to him, told the story, did some, and I trying to fix the resolution. So, sorry, people are kind of upset I wasn't looking at chat, I think. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Somebody said, mods, tell him is on the phone, ? What? I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I'm looking at some of the older stuff. Let me see the newer stuff. Tell him is on the phone.
Whitetail said he's going to lose his channel.
Who, me?
Okay, they said you have other callers waiting.
I do?
They just wanted to know that. They wanted you to know that Veronica's going to call. Yeah, we've been on for a little while.
Yeah, all right. So, thank you for calling in. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It's just, you know, I wanted to support you. Okay.
I really appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. But it's not like other people. I wanted to support you, but you did it yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Cool, man. Yeah.
Don't let anyone ever take credit for your work. like some people do. I'm referring to somebody else, but whatever. All right, so okay.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, brother. Take care.
Later.
I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't looking at chat, and I'm so sorry. All right. Basically, next. I don't care who called it in chat. We'll call next up. I haven't promised anyone that. Somebody want to start do what you usually do and all this wrong. Listen, he asked me for an interview, and when I interviewed with him, I came to learn he was a very intelligent, spoken. So I told him, why don't you just come on my show? And I wanted him to do time. Definitely went way over, but as long as I meant. In fact, we had like a hour ago. Then, of course, I went on telling my stories. So, all right, like that's. I mean, you were here, right? So I know that might be aggravating if you're trying to call in, but if you want to like make whatever your problem is like really clear for me, I never said I looked at chat. I said I just started looking at chat. Hey, you know what? Hey, Whitetail, why don't you write out exactly what your fucking problem is? All right? When did I say that I was looking at chat? I clearly said I have been trying to fix the video. Okay, I've been trying to fix the video. I even, if you look at my, go ahead, someone go to Red Pill and click it. You'll see a highlight, and it's going to be 1 minute of my conversation with him when he was talking about that like first experience, and like it was like when he heard the voice.